It's out to the 16-yard line.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 25 yards that time.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched him on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone. The Saints at 3-1 here through the first 4 games. And they come in off a disappointment last time out. That put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
And quite frankly, there wasn't a whole lot to draw on in the loss last week because they were dominating every phase of the game. You've got to hope that they show a little more life in this one because they certainly didn't have it in their last outing.
2nd and 6. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, this defense for the Panthers, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
So on 4th down, on comes Saints kicker Will Lutz.
Right hash, 37-yard attempt.
That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Wow, that qualifies as a bad miss because anything inside of 40 should be automatic. That's a big mistake right there.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try to put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards the pickup there. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Carlton Davis picks it. Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Now, let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. David Montgomery, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From way up at the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
Well, it certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Back to throw here. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he is going to have a Saints first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And this will wind up as Saints first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better.
Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 32-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he's got it down to the 28.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They'll drop to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Saints.
Chris Olave,
His second touchdown on the season.
and the Saints are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
Pulled in at the 24. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. shreds him with a stiff arm.
And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll set up to throw. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So as they take it over, we step aside.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
He'll look to throw. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. Pushes him over. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. Point after here coming up. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score Panthers 21, Saints 7.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Got an open man. It's Olave.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. He probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up second down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Rolling to his right, and he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Panthers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. From way up at the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And this defense not ready for that one as they take this down inside the 25. 11 yards and a Panther first down. On play action, they'll throw. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Jamison Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Saints 7.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
Fair catch, laying over 25-yard line. The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
There to stop him was Carlton Davis. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Montgomery on the counter. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Out to his left. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
A Keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On third down, they go Montgomery. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, when you're not able to run the ball successfully, it really messes everything up for an offense because no longer are you setting the tone and dictating the game. If you do want to throw the ball, play action's kind of gone out the window because they don't respect the run. And last but not least, you don't get to dictate it all when you want to throw the football, and that really hurts you as an offense.
And his kick is right there. It's good. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mitch Wishnowsky set to kick off.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And solid field position here to start as they get this out to the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Smith catches left side. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And now here is another interception. And the Panthers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 23 yards the pickup there. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. Give him 32 on the play.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got a man here. It's Montgomery. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 24-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Running off tackle with Montgomery. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And the Panthers are going to be set up with a first and goal. It's a nice run there. Gets them down to the 6-yard line.
This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up first and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. He's at the 50. 30, the 20. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown.
So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Lutz will look down the extra point.
And the lead is down to 20.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. The Panthers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. They're going to look to throw.
And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to air one out. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Carolina.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 2nd and 6. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Off the option, that's complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra.
The partner under the lights in primetime. This offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Panthers, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week.
Dollar. Hey. DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bring it home victory straight out the hurdle. I'm at the plug introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring the in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby. TGOD, baby, know that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We throwing hundreds, we going insane. Pouring this. Yeah, homies got me pouring this.